Hi, it's Anthony at Untitled, and I wanted to bring you an update for the Longmont real estate market. This is the detached single-family home portion. So this is the market that has been under the most pressure and so much buyer demand, opposed to anything else in Boulder County. We have seen so much appreciation, and we just can't build fast enough, right? Longmont's really becoming one of these cities that it's been known as like the cheapest place in Boulder County to move for a very long time, and it is not going to be there for long, right? It's flirting with Erie as far as price points are concerned now. There's a lot going on there. It's much more desirable to live there than it had been. The city's booming, right? So when you're in a market like that, coupled with this pending stuff from COVID, now we have a market where we have rock bottom inventory, we have record numbers of sales, and we just can't keep up with demand, right? Look at this, we're 30% less under contracts than this time last year, 9% less sales than year over year. But look at the average sales prices. They're spiking fast, and they're not going to come back down, right? This market is really coming into its own. And look how low our active unit numbers have been this year. So we're finally starting to see a little bit more on the market, which could be a great sign if you're a buyer in the Longmont market. Maybe it won't be so many bidding wars, and maybe it'll slow this housing prices down just a little bit. We're showing 38%. That's a little much, right? We're probably somewhere around 20% in the Longmont market. And the reason I say that is we've had a really active luxury market. We've had not nearly enough sales taking place in those median home buyer price points. So it's skewing those numbers a little bit, but even if you made, call it 150,000 instead of 217,000 last year that you've owned a home there, and you're around that average price point, it's still a very, very good sign and lots of equity. So if you want to sell, you want to trade up, or you want to trade into something different, this is a great time to be able to do that. You have a lot of equity, and with the low average sales prices and days on market and all those things, it's the perfect time to be able to sell a house. Now, it's a little bit competitive on the other end, but a great time to capitalize. Now, you can see here we're in a little bit more of a traditional market. You're starting to see sales pick up. We've pretty much capped for the highest numbers of sales for the year. You should see them start to trend down for the rest of the year. Now, there's not as many listings coming on the market. So if there's listings on the market, they will sell. There's plenty of buyer demand as we were looking at. So with all that buyer demand, anything is possible for the last part of the year. But it is not great to see that we had a shutdown last year and we still are not at those total sales numbers. So it is a very, very tight market, Longmont, which is going to continue to push those prices up. If you can see right here in the month supply of inventory, we're at 0.66, lowest in all of Boulder County, if you want to put it into perspective. And even though that's slightly above where it has been, you have a little more than 2 weeks of inventory now to choose from, which is definitely positive if you're a buyer. But as a seller, keep in perspective that 4 to 6 months is balanced. We haven't seen a market like that in a very long time, but this is still way below where we have been. Now, if you look here in the days in the MLS, or days on market, this is active to sold, right? So active to sale, we're talking 32 days. Things are moving really, really fast. They haven't moved this fast in a long time, especially for the entire market. Like, this is an average, right? So this is taking in everything into consideration. All we've done is drive these down. So this is going to start to trend back up this time of year, and we're going to start to see that into the fall and the winter. You really saw this. Look at 2019. This is a much more normal market where you had a kind of a valley towards the middle of the year. You're going to see that again, but that doesn't mean it's going to come up much, right? I would expect this to stay relatively low all year because of the inventory situation. If you have any other questions, you wanted to get to know the Longmont market more, or other markets in Boulder County or on the Front Range, hit me up. I'm Anthony at Land Title. Can't wait to talk to you soon.